All right, we can start the session now. So, very good evening, everyone, and good evening, sir. And I think we all are here present. Most of the participants uh, are former participants as well who have taken any of our courses prior to this one. So, we welcome you all to our webinar of certificate course on legal research. So by now, I think most of the participants know what is our organization and what is our objective. So, but I think it would be fair enough to formally reintroduce the organization as well. So, Legal Research and Analysis is a dedicated platform which focuses on providing accurate and up to date legal insight. Our mission is to simplify legal complex matters into very simple language so that any of the participant who joins our course can understand and can have a better understanding of the field or the particular course which he or she takes. This course, this organization um, has introduced many of the certificate courses, and we are trying to approach other fields as well, such as human resource management, AI and law, and we are mainly focusing on our legal centric courses as well, such as criminal laws, labor laws, but mostly uh, we are trying to make the legal complex matters very simple in language and trying to provide courses on that. But today we are here to discuss about a course which is very important to legal practitioners and law students, because many of our participants are belonging from the legal fraternity, and we all know that the importance of legal research, how much legal research is important in our day-to-day lives as a legal practitioner or someone who is pursuing law as a career. So here we'll be knowing, we'll be getting to learn about complex, comprehensive researching and learning, how to write those legal research, and how to have a holistic approach towards researching. Like our courses will be covering the essentials of legal research, research writing in across all fields, practicing insights, practical insights as in data collection, literature review, how you can search through various sources which are digital or uh, physical, like books or anything like that. We'll be having interactive sessions with her faculty where he'll be um, get teaching you how to practically use those tools or the methods of research, and how to use that in your daily lives as a legal practitioner. Before we move forward, let me reintroduce our founders as well. Advocate Pranav Jha sir, who is present with us today. He is the founder and director of our organization. Mr. Mohammed Uzair Ansari sir, who is the chief executive of this organization. And we welcome our faculty, who is the civil judge and judicial magistrate in Rajasthan court. And he is also present with us, Mr. Vishal Vyas, sir. We welcome you to this webinar as well. And without further ado, I will ask Pranav Jha, sir, to greet our participants and welcome our faculty as well. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Harsh, and thank you all the participants who have taken out time to join this webinar. And heartful thank to Vishal sir as well. I believe that today, being Monday, a very busy day in his course schedule as well, but then he has taken out time. I believe post courtroom, he has managed it, which is again very much appreciable. So thank you so much, sir, for your availability. I also like to extend a heartfelt thank to all the participants. It's more than 150 plus participants who have uh, reflected their interest to understand more about legal research. See, as you by any of our certificate course program, by now have understood what is all about the whole process which we actually ask you all to get engaged into. So as far as our organization, that is legal research and analysis, is concerned, so legal research for that matter is something which is again a very pivotal, very important aspect of the all of our 20 plus certificate courses which we keep on organizing. I personally feel that legal research per se is something which you all who are belonging from the legal fraternity should very well be acquainted about the format, the structure, and also how to draft the documents for that matter. So I think that this course has been curated in such a manner that it includes all other important information as far as the research is concerned, and to be more specific, as far as legal research is concerned. So you have to be very mindful. By any chance, if you feel, since throughout the process, in this particular webinar, we are also going to highlight what you are going to actually learn in the upcoming 1 month certification process. So you already know that the whole certification process is conducted in 8 to 10 lectures in total. So the 1 month period is given for you to actually do a good research on your subject, right? So you have to be very smart when you actually take up the sessions. It is not just a lecture or a classroom structure. You have to actually use the information which is channelized to you and curate it into your manuscript in form of an article, in form of a research paper for that matter, which is also required for submission. So you have to be very, very vigilant about the whole approach on every aspect, on every topic. Let's say for the first topic, maybe it can be an introduction or literature review or research methodology or how to write a research paper for that matter, or any of the legal document, how you actually finalize a legal document. So you have to be very vigilant about the whole approach and also apply the same into your assignment which you are going to take up. So this particular certification process includes various aspects. Harsh, I would like to ask you to share the screen and come directly to the course curriculum and structure, so that I'll give a brief idea about it, and then you'll also get to hear it from Vishal sir, who's actually going to teach you, who is going to be the mentor of the session. He has already taken up this course, but it is just that he is also going to give you a brief idea about what else you are going to learn. Just a second. Can you please zoom it also? Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Yes, thank you. So as you can see in the course curriculum, the very first lecture or the first session which you are going to understand is about the basic introduction about the legal research. So you are going to understand that how an overview of a research fundamentals and what are the philosophies attached to it. Why do you do research? And what are the basics and fundamentals of research? And then you will also get to understand the significance of legal research in academia and practice. So as far as academic domain is concerned, it's very, very much expected out of you to have a good quality research skill, right? And as far as practical experience is concerned, it makes you more analytical as far as approach is concerned. And it now in the also in the first session, you'll get to understand how to identify the research goal and research objective. I think these two are very important aspects to start any research paper or to do any draft for that matter. You need to identify what are the goals and what are the basic objectives on the premises of which you are going to draw the whole summary. Then come the legal research, design, and the problem formulation. Now, the second aspect, which is how you will design the research and how you will formulate the problem, that is, we call a research problem. Now, this is a very important step, which I personally feel that any researcher should be very mindful when they are drafting the research process. For example, while choosing the topic, or by framing a research question, or defining a research hypothesis. And then you also have to develop a research framework and methodology. Now, developing a research framework in itself is something like you do design a template before actually diving into the deep research. So you have to, by the guidance of Vishal sir, you'll get to understand how to develop a research framework and also the methodology, and also by structuring and presenting your research effectively. It's again very important to just not bombard all the information into one, manuscript. You have to actually curate everything in such a way that it connects each and every dot. For example, if any reader is reviewing your paper, he should understand the flow of the paper, right? So again, structuring and presenting the research is again very effective format. Can you please scroll down? Okay. Now, as far as the methods are concerned, so I am expecting that a very basic level of understanding you must have come up across now. For example, as far as the research method is concerned, the doctrinal, non-doctrinal, empirical, right? So you also will get to understand more about the approach, which we talk more about in research methodology section, where what is about the doctrinal method, how you can analyze the legal principle, case laws, and the statutes. And as far as the empirical studies is concerned, which is basically focused on the fieldwork data, so how you can conduct surveys, interviews, and data analysis for that matter. And then the impact. Most of the research tend to, uh, follow the comparative analysis of quantitative and qualitative that we call a mixed method research. So you will also get to understand more about this whole process. And then comes something which is again very technical. Even when I was in my master's, I kind of had a lot of problem actually using the research tools and the techniques. So here you will be guided to how effectively and efficiently navigate the public and the academic libraries. For example, I pursued my master's from Tata Institute of Social Science. So TIS had its own library. It had its DSpace and other forums where we can assess all the information which was available. And as far as the other aspect is concerned, if I talk about the practical training on, I believe that you need to be very clear about the mode of citations, be it ILI, Bluebook. In law, basically we focus on ILI and Bluebook, but other citations also include MLA, Chicago, APA, Oscola. So these are some of the mode of citations. But for law, I believe that ILA and Bluebook are ideally very much taken into consideration. Now comes the actual area where you or any person who is doing a research is judged from. That is the legal writing and the drafting. It is the high time where you actually need to be very clear with the approach. You have derived everything. You have the research. You have the research tool. You have curated everything. Now it's time to actually write your research paper. Now here you will be guided through the principles of clear and effective legal writing. You will be guided how to draft a proper research memo, how you can curate your legal opinion, how you can actually understand how academic papers have its formatting structure, and then you will get to write a comparative and impactful legal essays. So you can understand that from whom you all are going to understand the whole process is a sitting judge in itself. So to get a knowledge or get an experience to actually how to drive or write a research paper or how to draft a legal document for that matter is going to be again very impactful only when you actually get to attend the sessions, right? So and then comes the other aspect. Since once you have done with the whole process of writing and drafting it, now comes about the publishing of it. Now, publishing is something which is very important because until your research work is also recognized by any statute, or sorry, not statute, by any recognized journal, I think that the API score and other factors come into a play where you have to be also, you know, make sure that your written or anything which you have written is also recognized at particular domains. Now, here you will be taught about the technique for the presenting, how presenting research, maybe in conferences and seminars. Why we have included this is on our previous, series of the certification process on legal research, we received this concern that, sir, nobody is actually teaching us how actually we go into the conference, webinars, paper presentations, and actually present before the panel, and how to and what are the strategies and technique that is used, right? So I believe that this is something which we are helping you to understand the strategies of publishing a peer review journals and blogs. I believe that if for for an instance, if you are understanding or wanting or willing to get your paper published at Scopus Journal, I think which is something a tiring thing. And again, it has a own review system. It takes around 2 to 3 months, even 6 months is there, which is taken up, right? So how to actually strategize the whole technique is something which you will be valued more about on this particular forum. Now enhancing the research visibility and career opportunities. See, this is something which, again, career opportunities and how you can actually use this in the other forums is something which is very personal, and it's very subjective nature. So anyone who is wanting to do something in the field of environment and wanting to do work in the, let's say, NGT, National Green Tribunal, so he will curate everything with respect to those climate change and other areas, and then base his or her career on the same line. So this is something which is just very subjective. Now coming to the other aspect, that is the ethics, integrity of legal research. While doing the research, one thing which is very, very important is your ethical considerations in the research. Now, in the times of ChatGPT, AI tools, Perplexity, or any other tools for that matter, to maintain that ethical standard is something which is very challenging, because you can get yourself saved from the plagiarism, but then that AI reports tell how much it is your original work. So you have to not only make sure that you are doing something which is your original work, and you have to maintain the creativity. It's just that you also have maintain the ethical standards and ethics for that matter. So you have to avoid plagiarism, ensure that you are giving a proper attribution or proper credit to that particular person or that organization from where you have drawn the source from, right? Then you have to maintain that academic integrity and throughout the research process. Now, the last point, that is the citation, referencing, and documentation. Harsh, can you please slide up? Yes, this is the important aspect where you actually get to understand, because this is something which is technical, and ideally it's not very easy for you to understand in a single class. So you have to keep on practicing this technique. So here you will be guided how to actually do a proper citation, how you can create your bibliography, footnotes, endnotes, practical exercises on citation practice. This is something which you actually have to keep on doing it, and then only at point of time you will get to know that fine, I have understood the whole process. For an instance, now uh, there is a n number of AI tools which just ask you to submit any link, and they will make the citations by themselves. Now, what happens is, for a newcomer who actually doesn't know how to cite, they'll get confused by the whole process uh, if they do not know the real technique. So let's say if the citation by any chance has an error as far as that AI reference is concerned, so you will cite the same thing on your research paper, and at the end, maybe it can be very likely to get rejected. So the reason is that you actually never understood what was the real or the proper mode of citation. So at least you have to do some homework before you can do any shortcuts for that matter. Can you please scroll up? Sorry, scroll down. Yes, yes. Scroll down. I think we are done with the initial phase of it. Now we can come up with the timeline if we have prepared. Harsh, we have prepared the timeline.
I have no idea, sir, right now, but I will
Uh,
check and will try to come up with it. Yeah.
okay, fine. Anyway,
And
once we, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
once we, you will dive. Actually, since I believe that by now you have understood what we are going to cover in the whole process. So once you actually understand that it is again equally very important for all of you, and you have convinced, I mean, you are convinced with the whole process, then you will be given a timeline where every information in detail will be given as far as the topics are concerned, as well as the timing is concerned, schedules are concerned. I assume that most of you have already taken up this process, so you very much know the whole area, how we are actually working on, right? So maybe we'll get to talk more about it. But I believe that Vishal sir is also there with us, and his time is again very important. He has taken out time, so I'll not take much of your time by explaining the whole process again and again. It's just that I want to hear something out from Vishal sir, so that if he's available, he will be there with us, or else he would want to leave, he can also do that. Will not forcibly ask him to stay. Sir, if you're here, I'm so sorry if I took more time, but I believe that people had to understand what they're going to learn, and maybe the best person to answer it with you, sir. So over to you, sir, please.
Thanks, Pranav. Thanks, LRA platform for having me. Good evening, everyone. Just to answer your question, Pranav, you made my job much easier because I was thinking to, give them the overview of the course curriculum which you guys have presented. And since you explained it beautifully, I do not have to do that. So thanks for having me again on this platform. This is me coming third time on your platform. I have already done uh, course. I have taught so many students on this legal research course, but last time I was sharing this course with a co-faculty, and I gave 3 4 lectures out of this whole course. But very fortunate that Pranav considered and his team considered me worthy this time to take all the classes for this course. And I did another course for alternative dispute resolution with LRA team, which also went great. I also learned in the process. And this is the third time I'm coming in their platform doing the course for legal research for the second time. So thanks, Pranav, and the whole team for having me. And on this topic, like Pranav said, that one of the most important skill for a law student, which is very imperative for any law student. And when I say law student, I include myself as a judge. When I say law student, I speak on behalf of all litigators and lawyers. When I say law students, I also speak on behalf of all the academicians who are teaching law. When I say law student, I include anyone who is giving any kind of legal opinion to a person who is not from non-law field. So for any law student, the most essential imperative skill is the ability to find law. And this ability to find law is nothing but legal research. Okay? Because let's say, unlike physics, where we study this phenomenon that every action has an equal and opposite reaction, but that principle is not changed. And we are reading that principle from centuries, right? But unlike law, something like law, which is governed by us humans, which is changing, which is evolving, which is constantly and rapidly increasing or taking amendments, whatnot. For that, it becomes ever so important to be able to do proper legal research, because not just a new legislation is there, even in the existing statute, a lot of amendments are there, a lot of judgments by the Honorable Supreme Court and High Court are there, which changed the statute, which changed the law which stood when it was first incorporated by the legislature, right? So in order to better understand, whenever you are as a law student, while for example, if I'm speaking to a law student per se, someone who is in law school, okay, and he is maybe drafting a memorial, or maybe he is drafting a memorial for a moot court competition, or he or she wants to write a legal article for a column. Okay. So it becomes important for him to know what legal research is, how to do legal research, and how to get that cutting edge from your next competitor, right? And that's why you're here to learn those skills. Because let's agree to disagree that in this age, there is a lot of content out there. Okay. A lot of column, a lot of article, a lot of study material is out there. Okay. But for your write up, for your legal research, and then your write up to stand out, okay, you need to create that piece which catches the eyes of the reader. Okay. Similarly, if I am a judicial officer, every order, every judgment which I draft is nothing but a piece of legal writing. Okay. And the endeavor would be always to write the judgment so that not the winning party read it, but it is important for the losing party. Okay. Because the winning party would not be interested in the reading that judgment or order, right? But the losing party would be interested to read that judgment or order, which is against that losing party. Why? Because they might want to go to appeal. So the idea would always be to draft a legal article or a legal piece, which is judgment or order in my case, so that it becomes easy for each and every litigant, right? And similarly, the rule applies for you guys. So if you're writing any kind of article after your legal research, one of the class which is there in this curriculum, which is very, very important, is legal writing and drafting, writing draft, legal memos, competitive essays, uh, writing legal research paper, basically how to understand art of legal writing. That particular class is very, very important, so that whatever legal research you have done, whatever the ideas and thoughts you have, how you are putting them down in a piece of paper. Okay. So with that, I think Pranav explained the course beautifully. In the next 1 month or so, uh, the endeavor would be to share the little that I know about this area of law, and hopefully learn from your perspective, whatever you are doing in the course of this 1 month, and that would be the idea. So with that, Pranav, I hand over mic to you.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much again for being available at a very short notice. I believe that it was something which was not planned initially, but then you never say no to us. You're always there as a big brother. So thank you so much, sir. It really means a lot for your presence. I think that by now, even the participants must have understood that how better this course is going to get after your involvement, sir. So thank you so much, sir, for your time. Maybe we'll take forward from here. If you would want to stay, it's on you, sir, or if you want to leave, it's on you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I'll leave and I'll see you all of you guys, hopefully in the first class. Bye, guys.
Perfect. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Means a lot. So, guys, I believe that it was something which is very rare for us because we keep on conducting various certificate courses. It's more than 20 plus certificate courses which we keep on organizing. But it's very glad to see that we are at a position where we can manage those domain experts who are actually having that hands-on practice in a practical based situations. Learning from a judge in itself is something which is extraordinarily nice. Had I been given this opportunity, I would be the best utilizer of it. Uh, Similarly, we do take up various certificate courses, organized certificate courses. Let's say, for example, recently we are organizing a certificate course on labor law. So we have tried to bring an expert who has been assistant labor commissioner, who has been assessed commissioner. So see, now we have tried to make sure that we are not just for the sake of organizing a certificate program and seeking money from you, just organize it and maybe make money and commercialize the process. We Legal research and analysis never does that, and I believe only the participants who have been connected with us will very much also relate to it, because we are not here to bluff you, we are not here to cheat you, we are here to do something which I personally feel in the current scenario, something which is very important, very productive. It's not being taken care of, so that's why we make sure that things are lined up in the right directions to it. And just to make sure that everything comes within the forum, we have tried to also engage you or make the first point of contact as a moderator. Mr. Harsh, who has been moderator to lot many sessions by now, he himself has become a very expert in managing the small little affairs of you so that any query is not left unattended, right? I see that more than 180 plus participants have joined this whole program. So it's just that I'm humbly requesting you all to at least try out what you are going to learn throughout the process. And the best part of organizing this webinar is now every one of you have a window of asking or maybe requesting us to also include some topics in our coming lectures. What we generally tend to do is that after the whole session is completed, on the review day or maybe on the conclusion day, we ask you that how did you feel about it and what else do you want to be included, what did you feel it was missing, then we try to include it and then make sure that it takes place in our upcoming session. So but now this window is open for you prior to the session which is going to take up. So maybe now we'll open the forum for discussion or maybe ask you to share something about it. You can very much also tell us that what else do you or maybe you are expecting that it should also be included in the upcoming certification process on legal research. Harsh, can you also please share the QR code which we have made it? So, guys, generally, I'm so sorry I'm calling you guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, uh, generally the general fees of the certification process is 1500 rupees for all those who are joining in. But then, since you all are a part of family, you have taken up our certificate program prior or before it. So we are giving you a discount of 500 rupees. That is now, it is just for 1000 rupees. You can see in the screen that Harsh has very much portrayed the certificate QR code. So you can right now scan it from here, or maybe if anyone want to get themselves registered later on, we'll also share it on the group on which you all have joined in, right? So that you can do it on your own terms, right? So, but then I'm just, it's not just for 1000 rupees. I personally don't feel that any other platform would give you this quality of engagement uh, and help you to actually understand how to do a research. So I think it's a very fair deal for you to actually get yourself enrolled on. Obviously, we have organized this webinar just to make sure that you also equally understand where you are investing, why you are investing, and I mean, you can clear out your doubts. So I'll just ask Harsh to keep the slide available for you throughout the program. Meanwhile, we'll open the forum for all of you. Maybe you all can raise your hands. Then, if you have any doubts for that matter, Harsh will take out your name. Right now, you all are muted. So one by one, Harsh will try to unmute you and then ask about it. It's just that one thing before you get a window to ask your doubts, one thing again I want you all to be very uh, maybe you all must should know about it is once you actually invest into our process, you get yourself registered. If you are actually religiously wanting to do research, so you have to make sure one thing, that while writing the research paper, you do not very much depend upon chat gpt or any ai tools. Recently there is a judgment by the Supreme Court of India, where I believe Justice Gavai stated that relying on AI for legal research is risky. Platforms like ChatGPT have generated fake case citations. So I think that this is very sensitive, and you all should be very, just let me share the screen so that you all can also uh, read this. Harsh, can you please confirm if my screen is visible? Yes.
Yes, sir,
See,
it is visible.
yeah. So it was on 11th March 2025. So Justice B.R. Gavai has stated it that now there is a lot many aspects where legal research in the stake of legal research, people are just using ChatGPT and other AI tools just to generate work which was actually not there in the original format. So I think that this is something which you all should be very mindful about when you are actually doing the research. This is something which is also falling within the area of contempt. So be very sure whenever you are citing anything. Do not depend upon the ChatGPT platforms blindly, because things can go worst at times. There was a recent case, if I can quote, where judges actually gave a judgment based on the previous judgment, that is the precedent, and then lately it was discovered that in the original judgment that particular line was never mentioned. Right now the judges are saying that for us it is again a risk to actually rely upon the materials or the documents which are being formulated by the advocates. Now that advocate was called for to give a reasons to it, then it's just that he took a blame game and he said that it was my intern who came up with the research work, and then the intern told that I did a research using ChatGPT. I mean, see, it's something which has to be very ethically strong. You have to be very mindful when you're doing your research. It's a caveat I'm giving to all of you. If you are actually interested in doing research, try to be more ethically sound. right? I'm just stopping the screen to share. Now, Harsh, what you can do is now I can see that there are some hands which are already raised. You can just call out some names so that we can take up the doubts and then we can come up to the conclusion. Over to you, Harsh.
Sure, sir. Uh, Pooja Pandey, I have made you the host. You can unmute yourself now. Pooja Pandey, can
One
you
more
hear
thing.
me?
Uh,
Okay, okay.
Okay, Pooja says that she doesn't have any doubt. Whoever is asking their questions or queries, make sure you please turn your cameras on. It becomes more engaging, right? Yeah.
Khushbu creation, right? I have allowed you. You can unmute yourself. Kindly make sure that those who have doubt, only they are raising their hands. Until and unless you don't have any doubt, you can lower your hands. Yes, Khushbu, you can unmute yourself
So
now.
there is a question regarding the price. So obviously 1000 is not for the webinar. Webinar is free. You have already attended the webinar. For that you did not pay any amount. It is for the upcoming certificate course on legal research. For that the amount is 1000 rupees. Yeah, please. Who is asking the query? Khushbu, please call
No,
out the
sir.
name.
No, sir. Khushbu creation.
Yeah, yeah.
Shaheen Ali.
You have raised your hand. Do you have any query?
No, any query. No doubt, any query.
All right, all right. Thank you. You can take down your hand. Yes. See, I can read the comment which talks about the eligibility for the certificate process. So, ideally, we are expecting that you are from law background, so that when you are actually writing or doing a legal research, so you have a prior experience, prior knowledge about law, for that matter, BNS, BSA, or BNSS, right? So that you can use it into your draft. But then, in any other situation, if you have any interest in the law or wanting to do some legal research or understand how this whole process works, you are also eligible for the same. So, in short, there is no such straight jacket eligibility or strict eligibility criteria. Everyone is welcome who is having an interest lined up in the field of legal research.
There's one more doubt, sir, in the chat box only, that people are asking for the curriculum so that they can go through that and then they can decide on the enrolling part. So what we'll do, we'll also send the brochure of this particular course so that you can go through the brochure and then you can decide whether to take this course or not. Yes, Devika, I have allowed you. You can ask your doubt.
As far as the
Devika,
deadline is, yes, 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 Devika ma'am.
ma'am, do you have any doubt? You have raised your hand.
Ma'am, please unmute yourself. Devika ma'am, if you have any doubt.
Ma'am, you have not unmuted yourself. I have allowed you. Okay, you don't have any doubt, right?
Perfect. So see, as far as the deadline is concerned, Harsh, if I'm not wrong, it is on 17th, right? That is tomorrow itself.
For the enrolling,
Yes, yes.
yeah, yeah. Tomorrow is the last day to enroll in the course because the course will start from 18th of March. So you have 1 day time as well. You can go through the brochure and this particular QR code will be also sent on that webinar group. So you can use this QR for doing the payment.
So if you anyone is doing the payment or initiating the payment using the brochure, so on the brochure there is also a QR code. But if you scan that QR code, the price will
Yeah.
be 1500. So make sure that you do not do that. In case if you want to do that extra payment, we do not have any problem for that matter. But then it's just that if you want to avail the discount, the discounted QR code has already been displayed. Can you please read out the questions also in the chat box?
Yeah, sure. So as per the pamphlet shared in group, it was mentioned that certificate will be issued for this webinar as well. Yes, Ishmi, we will be issuing the webinar certificate as well, but there will be a minimal fees that we will be uh, mentioning in the group as well. So those who you want the webinar certificate can avail for by paying the minimal amount. How will we collect the material for the assignment? Basically, everything will be shared during the course where sir will be teaching you, and whatever material he'll be using for the session, he will be sharing it in the moderator will be sharing it in the group, and you will be also getting the session recordings as well. So that is your material. From there, you can use to choose the topic, or you can decide what on what thing you can research, and then that will become your assignment. uh, okay, Tanya, what suggestion do you have? You can write it in the chat box.
Shrija ma'am and have
Yes,
raised her hand.
yes ma'am, yes sir, we
We
are
will
taking.
we'll take up the handouts who have raised their hands first.
Srijan ma'am, I have allowed you, you can unmute yourself now.
Ma'am, you have to unmute
Unmuted.
yourself first.
Yeah.
Ma'am, still you're muted. Just try to unmute yourself first.
Okay,
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 ma'am.
okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes ma'am.
Okay. Sir, I really want to ask one thing that there are various cases. The cases are in deviation of so many versions, like whether it should be marital suit or criminal case, and BNS has messed up with every laws together. The first thing is that the question on my part is the person who is the lawyer, actually, the advocate or the lawyer, supporting the person who is accused and convicted, but not uh, still proven that he or she is a criminal. But she or he is an accused person. Now, being a lawyer, like we have always remembered the words that we should be very, utterly real to our lawyers as well as in front of the media. Thereafter, in that situation also, if that criminal case gets lost, helping the lawyer or the advocate, no matter in how much hierarchy he or she is in, what about not only the criminal who has got punishment? What should be the amendments as well as the articles to be taken up by the opponent party? Because the victims are here every time proving themselves that how they are victimized, because they are only defending. And then in that case, even if that criminal is lost, then what about the lawyer and the advocate? Or what action should be taken on them as far as constitutional, Indian Penal Code is concerned?
Ma'am, if I have correctly understood, you are asking about what about the lawyer's right who is defending a criminal? Is it that?
Right, right, sir.
Okay, okay. See, I would like to quote a very famous statement from Damjit Malani, sir. So, what generally he always took up is those criminal cases or those cases majorly on which the government was not actually supporting the plea on, and he was always defending the criminal, and he was very famous for. So he always kept something as a support system is that it is the advocate who is just putting the facts before the court of law, and he is no one to actually give the judgments on. It is the judge who will have to do the interpretation, find what is to be taken care of, and delivers the judgment accordingly. It is just that lawyers are the medium through which the information has been channelized. Now, as far as the rights are concerned, for example, I understand you're talking very practically, you're talking a very practical situation where if by any chance the advocate happened to lose any case and cannot defend it rightfully, and the judgment is against the notion, and now the opposite party who have paid the advocate is furious, and he is just having different alternative with the person. So what is the remedy that can come up with, right? So now, as far as the communication is concerned, so on Indian Evidence Act, I cannot recall the exact article on BSA right now, but we have a protected communication, right? So between the advocates and the client. So that's a window which has been given under Section 129 in the Indian Evidence Act, where you can actually quote that any information which has been shared by the advocate and the client has to be a very professional communication, and that is to be protected from the court of law. And in any case, if the whole process turns out to be against his uh, you know uh, statement, so it is no it is he I mean the advocates are no one to be for turned as guilty of doing the whole process, because he was just doing his part. Now, as far as his protections are concerned, I told you about the Indian Evidence Act. Even the Constitution of India has given the ambit to both the accused as well as the person to have his own advocate of his choice. Even the BNSS or the CRPC has the provision in the Section 57, right? So there are some of the clause which are very much available to the advocates, to the clients, and other individuals who are associated with the whole process. So I think that lot many judgments are also very much there. By any chance, if I happen to find the judgment, I'll just try to share it in the group also, in case if you want to cite those. Is there anything else you want to ask, Srija ma'am? Ma'am, you have to unmute yourself.
Okay. Yes, sir. I just want to ask one thing. Let's see. It's a very cliche of the fact that when a particular person complains against someone, and that is a vicious complaint, like a criminalized complaint, then in that case, despite of the victim being actually a victim, she or he always needs to keep on proving that, see, I have this proof that I have been beaten up, I have this proof I have been tortured, whatever is so. Now, if the constitution is only based on exchange theory, for rather, I would say the rational theory, then in that case, where is the ethics? Because we all know that previously, which used to be the laws, there are various amendments, like sati used to be sometime a law, now it's illegal. There used to be brokers, bribing, I know, having all this kind of all this kind of betting things are coming into new gamut of work. Means they are giving new names to those things, but these things were actually illegal at time, and people had been jailed, but now they are earning money through it. So does it mean that if being a lawyer, for instance, if I'm the most corrupted lawyer for that matter, then in that case I been knowing that this person has killed someone, I have every evidence, but I'm defending him till the time I can keep the judge, to the zenith of his mind getting cracked, that he has to give him the bail. So how ethical that constitutional judiciary is taking up in
Right, ma'am,
today's
right, ma'am. I think that
democratic
you have
global world?
right, right, right. I think that is a very practically based questions, and maybe we have to have a good word of exchange on the whole process. I think this is not the very right platform to discuss on other areas, but then just to make a final word from my end is maybe on the very first instance, when the case is presented before the court of law, when the judge actually get to read the case on the very first instance, it is very clear that who are the party who is actually bluffing, what are the actually merits of the case, and who is putting the point, and what is the actual crux of the case, right? But then he waits for the right evidence so that he can use those and then formulate it in the judgment. So now it is the work, it is the task of the advocate who is presenting the case. Harsh, can you please mute, ma'am, because there is a noise from her end. Yes. So it is the advocate who has to be very clear about the approach. Now you cannot very much blame any person, because I mean there is a general principle that law is or maybe an accused is presumed to be innocent until proven guilty, right? So there is always a right to have a fair trial. So both the parties, that is to be said that odi alteram partem, both the parties must be heard, both the parties must be given an equal opportunity to present their case. So there is a proper specific rule of law. So you cannot, or maybe I or you cannot breach the process. So every other, even any person for that matter, even the terrorists get a chance to say their stake, where it is very much video recorded. It is seen that he has killed, right? Not many persons, but then still he has that forum, that is that window. Why it is possible? Because the constitution, for that matter, always believes that until there is a very cogent belief, until there is a very concrete evidence, something which is very much available, then only when they're 100% sure, not only based on the preponderance of possibility, it has to be very based on a very concrete evidence, then only the judgment is curated. Yes, you have
Um,
any other questions?
yes. I do understand that being a lawyer, you will be, considering yourself to be, uh, supporting the fact. But the thing is that uh, once the criminal is given the, beneficiary on the fact that if the criminal gets a winner certificate, then in that case the lawyers are actually losing on the part that they know the loopholes of the law. So that's the
Right, ma'am.
case,
Right,
I
ma'am. I
think.
agree. I understand that
Because if a
healthcare had
criminal wins, that is
right,
the
right,
highest winning position for a lawyer because he knows the loopholes of the law. So
right, right,
that
right,
is what
right, right, right.
that hurts.
I very much understand the whole process. I also understand how every loophole is taken into consideration. Why uh, in a, let's say, IPC or the BNS, which is currently, general exceptions are majorly taken into consideration. How you can escape from the liability. I mean, the burden of proof and other legal terminologies are taken just to make sure that that party who is presenting wins. Anyway, ma'am, I understand this is something which is a matter of debate, and maybe in this particular forum, we cannot come to a concrete conclusion where you can get a satisfactory answer, or maybe this is something which is real and which is to be questioned before the forum. So thank you so much, ma'am, that you have come up with this concern. I will make sure that in case if you get to attend the session, you better ask it from a sitting judge, how he takes up the matters and how he actually understand it from the very initial stage, and how he makes sure that the justice is delivered to a rightful person in a rightful manner. So thank you so much, ma'am. Is there anyone else? I can see Sahiba
Yeah.
Sams. Can you please unmute her?
Yeah. Meanwhile, I will take one doubt.
Yes, 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 please.
There was a merely a suggestion from Tanya that
Mhm.
the organization should launch a website or a section where they can publish uh, their articles or their work. So yes, Tanya, we have that platform which is called Call for Papers that we have launched for our journal. So anyone who has any article or research paper they want to publish, so you can do that and you can use that platform of ours. There is a minimal amount of 1,000 rupees that you'll have to pay separately for that, and then you can be a part of our journal as well. So there is
Maybe
a
you can
platform.
also maybe you can also share the journal's link on this particular
Yeah,
webinar, or also in the group, if anyone is interested to get their article or a research paper published on our Journal of Legal Research and Analysis, bearing an ISSN number, which has its index, so that your API score also get increased. So you are very much welcome. The submissions are very much open. You can submit. There are some following guidelines, criterias. You have to just meet those criterias and very well get your article published. You'll get a publication certificate as well. Harsh will share it now in this particular webinar as well as in the group.
Yes, Badasri, ma'am, you can unmute yourself and ask your doubt.
Very good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please.
Yes, sir. I want to know that what is the difference between that today's webinar's topic is legal research and analysis. These are different, or
Okay.
and
It's a very unique question. Yes. Anything else?
and sir, what about that research paper published? I had a written article, but sir, please explain again. And I also want
Yes.
to
Yes.
know that, yeah, sir, about ChatGPT and all these included in the paper, and you just not told about that about the code, and these are means unique, specific.
Okay, coming to the first question first. So, see, as far as the difference between the legal research and legal research analysis is concerned, so
Yeah,
our organization, our platform's name is Legal Research and Analysis, right?
yeah,
And our company's name is LRA Legal Services Private Limited. So, we are a private limited company. Our website names is Legal Research and Analysis. Fortunately, we are also conducting a research or a certificate course on legal research. Since we keep on conducting certificate course on various laws and various social legal issues, so
yeah,
be it research writing, legal research, contract drafting, legal drafting. So these are different terminologies which are used interchangeably where we think that this is something which is again important and should
yeah,
be a process and should be a proper course. So it's just that it's a similar name, but now legal research has a different course. As you have, I believe, Bidashi, you have already enrolled in various certificate programs by now. So
yeah,
similarly, this is also one of the certificate program. Now, coming to your second question. Now, as far as understanding about how to write a research paper and
yeah,
also get into the realm of writing it, so
yeah,
definitely to write a research paper, there is
yeah,
ideally five things you need to understand. Number one, you have to choose a topic which is
yeah,
related to law and should cover something, or you should be able to find the gap because research is all about finding the gap on which, since we have plenty of information available online, you just need to see, once you have to start reading it, that what are the loopholes, what are the gaps which you need to identify. Once you identify, let's say for example, if you see that no one is talking about the mental health of prisoners, right? So you tend to write something about the mental psyche, mental health, psychological aspect, what they
yeah,
go through when they are in the jail, right? So once you read about it, you'll get to understand that, oh, there are some laws also which are attached to it. There's a Mental Care Health Act 2017, if I'm not wrong. So you'll get to know that there are also Prisoners' Rights Act. You'll get to understand. Once you
yeah,
start reading it, you'll get to understand what are the important areas where I can actually put a stress on. Now you have chosen a topic. Now your first and very essential work is done. Now the second work is you start reading about it and you use those references into your next section. That is called literature review. Now literature review is very important aspect because that actually defines how good or bad your the quality of paper is, because you actually use different references to see what are the available information and what is the gap you have come up with. Now the
yeah,
second and third and the most important aspect is the uh, re- uh, research methodology. Now, research methodology is, now you will have to understand that what is the nature of method you are going to use, be it a doctrinal or a non-doctrinal. It is a qualitative method or a quantitative method. If you're going to do a mixed method, so you need to understand the difference and what is the purpose and which is the method which is most suitable for your study. For instance, in this prison case or a mental health of the prisoner is concerned, I think you have to apply both the methods. That is a qualitative as well as quantitative, because you can, by any chance, you will have also have to visit the jail. take the interviews of the prisoners and understand what are the real case-based scenario they are facing on, which no one is talking about. So you have to curate both the information into your paper. Then only your paper be more holistically real and some productive thing can come up. Now the fourth stage is the data collection and data analysis. The whole process which I was telling you is to go there, collect the data is included in this process. And the last process, which again, which is very important, is recommendations and suggestions. So you have to give a solid recommendation that, see, after having done a research, now I have come up with some recommendations and suggestions. If the organization, if the government, if the particular forum, or maybe let's say the prison cell authority, or maybe the state legal service authority, or maybe the state human rights commission, national human rights commission should actually take up the concern. You can raise the number of cases, you can cite the data, you can come up with different number of set of case laws, then you can come up with suggestions and recommendations, and then you can formally conclude the whole research and give a good quality research paper. This is a very basic and ideal way how to formulate any quality research paper. I hope I have made your point clear. Thank you. Sahiba, are you there? Give a thumbs up if are you there. Oh, I think she's not there. Is there any more questions, Hers? Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, I'm taking. Yeah.
I think so it's already 8:07. We have
Yeah.
come to an end of the whole process. So, if there is any question which is left unanswered, I am happy to be there.
We'll take three more raised hands
Okay, okay.
because there are only three now. Yeah. Arnav, you can unmute yourself now. Arnav Ranjan, if you have any doubt, you can unmute yourself. You had raised your hand. All right.
No.
We'll take Vandana's doubt. Yes, you can unmute yourself now.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Good evening. Actually, I have a
Very
doubt.
good evening, ma'am.
I am here through a medical ethics and law program.
Okay.
So I have a doubt, sir. I'm non-background of. I'm not from the background of law. So out of curiosity, I out of interest, I paid here. Am I eligible to grab this certificate, sir, or shall I allowed or not?
Just in case if your interests are lined up, on the very first instance, I told that it is not mandatory that you have to be necessarily from law background. If you feel that you should also know how to actually do a good quality research, and as far as legal research is concerned, you want to maybe develop your knowledge base on the area, maybe we are more happy to welcome your interest, ma'am. So you are
Thank you
allowed.
so much, sir. Thank you so much. That is my question. Thanks a lot.
All right, ma'am.
Vignata, you can unmute yourself now.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Good evening, sir. Sir, actually, this 1,000 rupees, is it available only for now, or else also it is available tomorrow? This
By
discount.
So for tomorrow also it's going to be available, but not day after tomorrow. Since tomorrow is the last day for getting yourself registered. Once the last day is over, we'll close this submission thing. We'll not take no registrations after that. So if you have to get yourself enrolled, maybe tomorrow, today and tomorrow is the window period where you can do registration.
Sir, actually, I have another doubt. I've seen that you have also introduced, I mean, there were many times I've seen that IPR courses, but I couldn't join because of the busy schedule. But in that course, I have seen the timeline and also the course curriculum. But I want to give a suggestion from my end that please can you include copyright and AI related stuff and a trademark also in practical ways, because there
Right,
is
right,
only
right, right.
some part of it was covered in the IPR. I was expecting some extra thing. I mean, some
See,
beyond those
so once
topics.
I get your point, ma'am. Just to answer that, once you actually get to enroll in that IPR program, so you have that window where you can ask or request your present faculty who is taking the session that, sir or ma'am, I actually want to understand more about the AI aspect, how much it is also included in the whole process. So definitely that will be taken up. See, syllabus or the course curriculum which has been designed are very basic, which is bare minimum, which we promise that will deliver. But something if you are expecting out of the box, which is not available there, but also very much relevant to the context, definitely you can request the faculty and by high, it's a very high chance that he or she will include that into the course curriculum. Right, ma'am?
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. And if anyone who happens to see our website and see other certificate courses, so we do take up live courses and also recorded courses. So anyone who is willing to get themselves maybe registered on our recorded courses also, they can very much avail that option also. They can get themselves enrolled. There will be a recorded lecture. You can go through the recorded lecture. You can submit the assignment and you can get the certificate. You need not have to wait for that course to come up again, right? So if you want, you have paucity of time, you want to do that certification process right away, you can do it from there as well. So our website name is www.legalresearchandanalysis.com. When you search that, you'll get a section where our certificate courses column. You'll see that more than 20 plus certificate courses are lined up. If you want to get yourself enrolled in any of the certificate program, you can just straightforward go there, click, get yourself registered, and start the process from there and there itself.
Thank you, sir. This was also another route.
Okay, okay.
Arnav, you can unmute yourself now. We have allowed you.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, sir. I was trying in getting. See, my question is, I'm basically a techie guy who is looking into all aspects of AI related progress. And now this law side, more of my interest would be in our governance, how the AI rule and IPR on AI, if somebody writing this. This is my exploring area. But here my query is basically no. I've been trying one two sessions of sir earlier because of medical background. I'm from a hospital background, so I joined that one also. I would prefer and request here honorably that this would give us a list of study material or a link where we can explore ourselves, because AI would be
Right, sir.
new
Right,
for
sir.
what I know, so that at least sir, I say load of information is there where after this, we try to come out of this and we try to forget except a few PPT and few things. So I would always request you give us a list of, study material or link or books or PDF where kind of a person like me would like to explore and come back again second session or third session, maybe paid or unpaid, whatever it is. I'll refine my knowledge. I have a keen interest on that. Otherwise,
I
I'll send it to
believe.
me. Yeah.
Please,
Which
please,
would
please.
give me a lot of leverage and confidence into getting into this actually subject.
Right, sir. Right, sir. I think that you're very, very true, and it is a very basic and legitimate expectation that prior the session, if you have any ready material which is to be gone through before attending the lecture, I think it becomes very easy to understand or also develop a mind map that what you are going to study, and it connects better, right? So I think that this is
Yes.
something which we should have followed in our previous sessions also. But as far as this course or the upcoming courses are concerned, we'll make sure that this is a very bare minimum thing which you are expecting, sir, that will be available in advance.
Yes.
Okay,
I would
thank you.
prefer already. I have enrolled into this yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nikhil. My name is Nikhil. Actually, my mail ID is
Okay.
Arnav. So
Okay.
already enrolled, but I was dying to ask this thing because unless I go through it and realize how
Right,
it
right,
can.
right, 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 right.
Thank you, sir.
I'll make
Nothing
sure
more.
that in our courses also things are lined up.
Yes, sir. And sir, medical
Okay.
courses also I do request that. I've already enrolled there.
Yeah. I'll ask the faculties. I'll ask the moderator to share the course material, study material, uh,
Yeah.
and maybe the recorded links are very much available to you
Yeah.
in case if you have not taken up. But then study materials will be also shared.
Yeah. Google Drive or what is the means which is comfortable to the organizers? I would prefer that.
Yeah. Google Drive is certainly the process which we take up. So
Sure, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. So I believe that now we have come up to the end of the program. So I believe that there are some doubts if it is still left behind. You are very much connected in the group. You can ask your doubts there as well. But the last word from my end is that the whole purpose of organizing a webinar was to help you understand what you are going to actually learn in the certification process of legal research. So now I assume that you have a clarity that number one, you are going to understand or more about the legal research. Number two, you are going to learn it from a person who is a sitting judge at the court in Rajasthan. Number three, you are also going to get the recorded lectures. Number four, there is a moderator who is going to take up all the doubts, maybe from the first day to the last day. Number four, you have to submit an assignment in order to avail a certificate. This is the whole crux, and I am expecting you all to see in the classroom so that we can discuss more about how else we can be a better versions of ourselves as far as research is concerned. So thank you so much for your time. I think that it's high time that we can say goodbye to all of us and maybe have our dinners.